Welcome to the Enchanted Lighthouse, where every week magical stories and new adventures await. Join our group of 7 wonderful animal friends as they bring tales about friendship, mystery, and wonder to life. From unexpected guests to heartfelt conversations under the moonlit sky, each story holds a gentle truth. We are so glad that you are here. Now let us begin. Seppi and the Golden Amulet. The shimmer beneath the waves. The morning sun rose slowly over the sea, painting the water in soft gold and pale blue. At the Enchanted Lighthouse, the world felt calm and wide open, as if the day itself were waiting for something to happen. Down on the shore, Seppi the young seal was already awake. He bounced across the sand, slid down smooth rocks and peeked into tide pools where tiny crabs scuttled and seaweed danced in the current. Exploring was his favorite thing in the world. Every shell, every ripple, every hidden corner of the ocean felt like a secret waiting to be discovered. Today feels special, Seppi said to himself, whiskers twitching. Just then, something caught his eye. Not a shell, not a fish, but a shimmer. It flickered beneath the surface near a cluster of dark rocks. Too warm to be sunlight, too steady to be foam. Seppi tilted his head. "What is this?" he whispered, excitement bubbling in his chest. Without hesitation he dove. The water closed around him like cool silk. As he swam deeper, the shimmer grew brighter. Soon he saw it clearly, half buried in the sand, wrapped in strands of seaweed and thyme. It was an amulet. A small golden pendant shaped like a circle with delicate lines carved into it. At its center glowed a soft light. Seppi's eyes widened. Carefully he brushed away the sand and lifted it into his flippers. The moment he touched it, the glow warmed. "Whoa," he breathed. "You are definitely magical." He swam back to the surface as fast as he could, water sparkling around him. "I found something amazing," he shouted to the wind, and with a leap and a splash, he raced toward the lighthouse. Questions and quiet magic. On the lighthouse porch, Theo was enjoying the morning breeze. Hazel was sorting lantern hooks and Lumi was quietly studying a star chart, even though the sun was already high. Then they heard a splash, and another, and a very excited voice. "I found treasure!" Seppi burst onto the shore, nearly tumbling over his own flippers. He held the amulet high, droplets of seawater catching the sunlight. Theo stepped closer, his gentle glow reflecting in the gold. "It is wonderful," he said softly, "and unusual." Hazel leaned in, eyes sparkling. "Look at the carvings. Maybe it grants wishes." Milo appeared from behind a rock, pretending he hadn't been listening. "Or maybe it turns you into a sea monster," he said casually. Seppi gasped, "What?" Lumi studied the amulet quietly. "There is magic in it," she said at last, "but not the loud kind." Seppi frowned slightly. "What does that mean?" Lumi smiled. "Sooner or later, you might find out for yourself," she said gently. Seppi looked at the amulet again. It glowed warmly in his flipper. The search for powers. All afternoon, Seppi tried to unlock the amulet's magic. He stood on the highest rock he could find and raised it dramatically into the air. "Amulet," he declared, "make me fly." Nothing happened. He tried again. "Make me a hero." A seagull landed nearby and stared at him. Milo laughed so hard he almost rolled into the water. "Maybe you are doing it wrong," Milo said. "Try asking politely." Seppi took a breath. "Please," he said earnestly, "give me powers." Still nothing. Seppi's shoulders drooped. As the sun began to sink, he sat on the sand, staring at the amulet. The story hidden in gold. That evening the friends gathered in the lighthouse living room. The fire crackled softly and the sea outside whispered against the cliffs. Olivia flew down from the rafters and landed beside Seppi. "May I see it?" she asked gently. Seppi handed her the amulet. Olivia studied it for a long time. "This symbol," she said softly, "is very old. I remember reading about something like this in a forgotten story." Everyone leaned closer. "Long ago," Olivia continued, "there were travelers who believed that true magic could not be carried, stolen or earned. So they created amulets, not to give power, but to remind people of the power they already had." Theo nodded thoughtfully. "The amulet does not make you special," he said softly. "It helps you remember that you already are." Seppi looked down at the golden pendant. "So, the magic isn't in the amulet?" Theo smiled. "The magic," he said, "is in you." For a moment Seppi didn't speak. Then something inside him shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, but gently, like the tide turning. A quiet test. The next day a storm rolled in unexpectedly. The wind rose and clouds gathered low over the sea. One of Hazel's floating lanterns slipped from its hook and drifted dangerously close to the waves. "Oh no!" Hazel cried. Without thinking, Seppi ran. He didn't wait for instructions. He didn't think about powers or magic. He simply acted. He dove into the churning water, swam against the current, and reached the lantern just in time. With strong, steady flippers, he guided it back to shore. When he climbed out of the sea, soaked and shaking, the friends rushed toward him. "You did it!" Hazel exclaimed. Theo placed a paw on his shoulder. "You didn't need the amulet," he said warmly. "You trusted yourself." Seppi looked at the pendant. It glowed brighter than before. But this time he understood why. A new place for the amulet. Later that night, Seppi sat alone on the shore. The waves rolled in softly. The lighthouse beam swept across the water. Above him, the stars shimmered like distant lanterns. He touched the amulet once more. For the first time, he didn't wish for powers. Instead, he smiled. "I guess," he said softly, "being me is already kind of magical." Behind him, the lighthouse glowed warmly. And somewhere between sea and sky, Seppi felt something he had been searching for all along. Not magic, but confidence. From that day on, Seppi wore the golden amulet close to his heart, not knowing that one day it would glow for a reason. Every story has something to teach us. What did we learn today? We have learned that true magic doesn't come from objects or powers. It comes from courage, kindness, and the quiet strength already inside us. Thank you for stopping by here today. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like and don't forget to come back next week for a brand new adventurous story. Want to learn more about the magical tenants who live here? Visit enchantedlighthouse.com for a mystical map, creative artwork and a few special gifts. Until then, be kind and share your light. See you next time.